Okay. I mean, again, so a lot of concepts that you're gonna learn, you should try to be able to apply that to other maps. That's kind of the whole point. Is yeah, I would love to tell you specifically, but there's that would take forever, like exactly where to do, what to do, and all that stuff. So we'll we'll see if we have time for that. Let's do this.
Yeah, it makes sense to focus on the biggest ROI kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Get epic pen if I need it.
And then maybe.
Oh, okay, this is a lot. Let's see here. All right, can everyone see my screen
Yeah. Yeah.
or okay? We're gonna go over comps here really quickly. So
Wait, cousin,
what?
did you say you were recording it, or do you need me
I'm
to?
recording it. I'm recording
Oh, okay.
it. It'll be on my Twitch, so Bobby can see it, and JC, and everyone else that needs to see it from my other teams.
Overwatch specific software?
Yeah,
Interesting. That's so
this is
niche.
exciting. Yeah, this is like I've known about this website or this application, and I've always wanted to use it, but I didn't want to pay for it
Cool.
myself. And so
Yeah.
with this, the new team I tried out for, they wanted their coach to use it, so they basically have a paid subscription that they pay for, and then they just give the login to the coach, and then obviously when the coach leaves, they just change it. But yeah,
Gotcha,
so
gotcha.
they gave it to me. I'm excited to use it.
Oh man.
So we'll see. Let's kind of compare these two comps for now. Um, so let's talk about Talon. So this is what we're gonna be mostly playing against with the comp that we run, especially on Oasis and Ilios Ruins. A lot of teams play Talon on those, at least for 2 of the rounds and stuff for Oasis. So obviously, what's the quick question? Just blurt out quick answers. What's the point of 6-man or Talon dive? What's the whole goal behind that comp?
6 men on one person diving together.
Well, you're not diving, but you're able to rush
Yeah.
down a single target, and you're able to get away if you're getting low or getting too pressured, and the rest of the team can keep going. Because if the enemy team focus one, you can just poke away and stay alive.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Right. What about our comp? What is our comp supposed to do?
You mean the comp in the middle?
Yeah. What is this ball comp supposed to do?
This ball comp is all about cutting, getting disruption. You want to set up a hack into a Discord so you can bully some targets. You want to get cooldown out of the enemy team while you're getting the and when they have resources that are low and you still have all your resources, you can kill them.
Okay. Perfect. Yep. That's exactly right. Um, Everyone else should be able to speak. Give your ideas as well if you can. Now let's talk about the supports. So supports, Cooper and Ari. What's the difference between these two support lines?
Uh,
Um,
yeah, go for it,
Let
Harry.
Ari and Cooper answer this.
I feel like with Ana, just more healing, where like with Sunbreak, it's more about damage, maybe?
Okay, what else? Okay, sure. You have more healing with the Ana. Okay.
I mean, I think a
You have
big
more
one
damage
is.
output, sure. But I mean, we have a Mercy here, so I mean, I don't know,
I
maybe.
mean, I think a big one, if there's Mercy Echo, then that's kind of like a big damage dealing aspect of it. Follow up on pile drives instead of
Okay.
the
Well, here's the
Discord
thing.
per se and
Well,
the
yeah,
hacking.
I mean that's true, right? Yeah, there's a lot of damage potential with these two, right? But with the Zen and then all of these four, like that's more damage output to be honest,
Yeah.
right? Because you have a Zen orb, and then all four can utilize that. But the only one utilizing Mercy Pocket is basically the Echo, right?
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of. I mean, definitely with this comp we have a lot less damage. But what else? What else are we lacking?
Hacks.
Hacks, sure. I mean, to be honest, I think um, with the Sombra we're losing a lot of ult potential, or like a really strong ult with the MP, sure.
Mm,
But more in the
true.
support line. Like, what are we missing in our support line with this
Peels.
comp?
Peel.
Peel. I mean, like to be honest with you, there's not a lot of necessarily peeling for our backline. I mean, yes, there's peeling, but there's self peeling, right? So these two can protect themselves, right? And so that concept goes into like, well, what are we doing? Are we trying to prevent an engage, or are we trying to absorb it, right? So if we're trying to absorb it, these two can't, right? I mean, to be honest with you, the Mercy's going to be onto the Echo, and we just have a soul on it, right? So we can't absorb it, so we don't have an option. But with this, we can absorb a Talon dive, right? Or a full engage onto these two. At least they can live a lot longer than Ana can, right? Because she would just get Harmony Orb, and then she can just pack Zen and then try to live. So we're gonna go over here and try to like explain that. So I'm gonna explain that using at least the comp we should be running, and then we'll try to implement our way, and then see if we can try to implement the way we play this with our comp. So like you said, so try to explain this positioning. So why do we want these two over here, all the way over here, as far as they can?
So the enemy can't get to them? Like, we're at the furthest point?
Yeah, and they can heal from here. They can both heal from range as well.
Okay, yep, sure. So it's basically the best. So what's the best way to counter Talon dive?
Split.
Okay, split. Sure. Yeah, getting angles, right? What else?
You don't want them to engage on you. They got minimum resources to actually get to you, and if you just get more time to poke at them while they're not able to engage, they're
Right.
just gonna get out of cooldown and eventually lose.
Exactly. So
Right.
poking, especially the Winston, right? Poking the Winston out first. So that goes to like preventing, right? So poking the Winston out, make sure like we can try to get a cooldown, make him jump early, use bubble, anything like that. Like, so let's say like we poke him out from here and he just jumps early and lands here, right? Our backline is safe, right? So we prevented a good dive, or a dive from their team. What else? Of course, there's this concept, like you said, getting angles, and that's what we call concaving. So obviously, what that means is another way to obviously counter Talon is using high mobility heroes. So when we go here, these two here, right? This group, we've checked that box already, right? So we have a lot of mobility with these. I guess these 5 and these 4. So Talon can't really just jump onto these guys for free. But obviously with these two, or this person and these two, they don't have a lot of mobility. But at least with these two, we have a brig to, like, at least prevent some of it while it's coming in. But with Ana alone, it might be a little bit of an issue, because she has like no mobility and she'll probably just get blown up. But we'll come to that later. So anyway, yeah. So we obviously have angles and distance. Distance is a really big key, because essentially, right, this core wants to jump onto the backline. But another way to prevent it, why is Diva here instead of being back here? Because a lot of a lot of the problems that I see a lot of teams a lot of mistakes a lot of teams make, is that they're like, okay, well, Diva's a part of the backline. Well, she is, but she can't stay this far up here. Why do we not want her to be right on top of our backline?
Because otherwise she doesn't do shit in the meanwhile.
Right.
If you just put her in the middle, she can either engage on the enemy team if that's what you need to do, and she can fall back if that's what you need to do.
Yep.
She can just do more stuff if you just put her in the middle.
Right, and it's all about damage, right? She can't do a lot of damage back here while like they're pushing up, right? She's doing no damage. But if she's put up here, like, she's pretty safe. Like, if you can play like here or a pillar or some natural cover, right? And while they're trying to engage, right, we can start harassing the monkey, start harassing the monkey, start harassing the monkey, start harassing the monkey before an initial dive, force cooldowns. You see now that we have a concave going on with these 4. We're slowly, like, grouping them up and then trying to attack them from a lot of different angles. Just we're creating a concave here. You see that? The lit angles? Yes, no, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's kind of essentially what this comp wants to do, right? We're kind of like weeding out like sheep. right? Trying to find the weakest, try to prevent the one that's really going to cause a lot of problems, right? Because if we cause this one to like maybe jump early or use cooldowns and then say these 4 go in, this doesn't seem a lot scary. This doesn't really seem that scary, them going in as 4, right? Because we can just, again, like either just follow up really onto the dive, and then we have a whole setup dive here, and maybe without their monkey, but I mean, yeah, Summer's probably gonna be there, but it's not as scary than having their whole group of 5 jump in like that. Let's see here. Let's do something else though. So that's prevent. That's more just preventing a dive. Sometimes that can't really happen, right? You can't get a lot of distance. But actually, before I go into that, let's say they don't go after a backline, right? Let's say Sombra's like going around here doing some weird bullshit and sees this diva alone like this. Okay, and she was like, okay, well, Diva's probably trolling and inting. Let's go after her, hack her, and she gets hacked, and then their team is like, oh, look it, free Diva. Why is this better that they go after the Diva than our backline?
Because your backline's free to do whatever they want. They still get a lot of value because that's what Zen and the backline, and Zen deal a lot of damage and support.
Exactly. But now, how fast does the team need to react to this, our Diva being singled out?
Fast.
Pretty freaking fast, right? They need to recognize that she's got hacked. Everyone needs to now try to come in. I mean, you can probably come in a little closer, but not too far, right? We don't want to be like, oh, I need to help her and get this close, because now you're just like now within the range of all of them. Now you're just part of it. So stay a little further back, but still like get closer, provide pressure, try to get at least some inspire on her if you can. But yeah, try to get a pick of your own. That's the biggest thing. We do not want to lose one for free. We want to at least try to get the trade. Now it comes to splitting the focus, right? So at this point, it's not about preventing the Winston from jumping in. It's about obviously concaving, but now splitting target focus. And to do that, you kind of have to know what your job is and or at least who you're going to go at. So, or at least you're going to go on. So a lot of the times, when this happens, and the core goes after a diva, the diva can probably just keep shooting after the Winston. That's okay. Maybe our Sombra can look for like a hack on their diva so that she can't start DMing our damage output like with our Zenorb on whoever. But while that's happening, we need our ball and tracer to come in, slam, and try to force this Mora out. Use fade, get her out, and then just keep following her and get her out. While our core, or at least not our core, but our backline, try to finish off these 4. Does that make sense? Right? So while they're separated, hopefully she dies, then they come back in. Because their healing is basically just non-existent when Mora dies, and now this should be free. You see what I mean?
Sort of. I got a little lost, to be honest there.
Okay. Let me try. So obviously, I don't know if you know this, but Tracer and Ball should be kind of coming out together and looking for angles. Sombra can just kind of stay within the realm of where our backline is, and then so is Diva. But this is the initial setup, right? Typically, well, Tracer's gonna like kind of wrap around here, but they come together this way. So like I said, if they recognize that our Diva's out and they try to dive this, right, we need our Ball, Tracer, and our Sombra to recognize that our Diva's getting attacked, and they need to come in very quickly, slam, or at least these two need to help, or at least Ball comes in, slams the Moira, tries to force fade, and essentially these two are trying to force Moira out of the fight. That is their job, right? So like I said, the concept of splitting your focus, right? So then, while that's happening, Sombra is going to also come in and help, right? Maybe hack the Diva and start providing pressure on maybe the Lucia or Reaper or whoever. And then so does Diva. Diva's probably going to split focus onto the monkey, so maybe he gets a little cheeky and sees the back line and tries to go after them. But that's probably a bad idea because he's away from his team. But
Yeah.
the concept of split focus is what I'm trying to see. Like you see how
Right.
a lot of teams are like, oh, we have to stay on one target, but that's not necessarily the case. You can't do that all the time, right? Because we don't want Diva to be like, oh, or like let's say I'm calling Moira with my tracer, but then Diva thinks like, oh, I need to go on the Moira and flies in. Well, that just leaves the backline exposed.
Does this apply specifically to Talon, like versus Talon?
Well, it can work against Brawl, right? This is
Alright,
Talon plays a lot like Brawl, right?
Right. Yeah. Anything that's supposed to play stacked.
Yeah.
Is the idea. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, even like what? Even double shield, right?
True.
We're trying to look for angles, poke, try to utilize, try to make them use cooldowns. So like, say like they're playing double shield, right? We can just have our backline maybe like way back over here, even probably in the same spot or even up here, right? And then look for flanks this way, come this way. I mean, anything
Wait,
like that. You see that?
Shouldn't double shield be played like not
should
so
be
stacked?
Well, yeah, I know, but it's I don't have. I'm not gonna like set a whole another thing up for.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Because this is specifically
Yeah,
more
yeah.
towards Talon, because there's not a lot of double
Sure.
shield being played. At least in this UG's or this Wait, what are the maps? Besides what, like Havana, but we run brawl and defense first point and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Okay.
there's not really a lot of.
I don't think you have the right map pool.
What? No, Havana, Eichenwald and stuff. So like right now I'm just showing at least the concept on Busan because it's a lot easier to show the concept on Busan of concaving, getting angles, and keeping your distance. So this is kind of the best map to show it on against Talon. So that being said, with all this, we can go into our actual map pool and try to figure out what we need to do against it here. So this is nipple. I don't know what this is called, but I call it nipple because there's a nipple in the middle.
Makes sense to me.
And obviously, okay. Well, actually, we didn't really talk about what we need to do with our specific comp, but I guess we can talk about it here. So since we don't run the Zen and the Brig, we have a very big problem of even absorbing a dive, or at least the backline has a very big problem of absorbing the dive from Talon. So it's a very big issue. I should have talked about that last map, but whatever. So let's get these guys set up. How do we want to set up? How does our comp want to set up on this map? Let's try to figure that out first. So we know we want to keep distance to try to prevent their dive to be at least a lot easier for them. So how are we going to try to set this up? What angles do we need to take? So let's start with Yari. Where do you want to be positioned?
We typically go like on here. I think it's the bottom.
So just like say.
I'm gonna say high ground, but I don't think it's accessible.
So.
No,
You
yeah.
have two options.
Wait. I had to figure out the map. I could not look at this and see the map.
Yeah, it's
the
sometimes
right
really
side,
disorienting.
So this is streets, and then these guys are already set up on high ground. So the reason why they're already set up on high ground is because, well, obviously a lot of teams want to set up on the high ground to the left. That's essentially where a lot of teams will fight for. But it is okay to give it up if you're confident enough that you are able to commit to the low ground, because you can't commit to the low ground. We have a big ass nipple here, and their shots from the high ground is not as oppressive as, like, say, if this wasn't here, right? We wouldn't be able to play low ground if that was the case, if this big nipple was in the way, or this.
Okay, so they swapped the map pool. Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, we know we aren't able to contest high ground because they're going to get there first. They have Lucio, and they have a lot of mobility, they're gonna get here first. We have to concede it. We don't have a choice. So we know we have to play on the right side here. So how are we gonna set up then? How are we gonna get angles? How are we going to make sure that we're not going to be clumped like we are right now? Sorry, where do we need to go? Where do you want to set up? Where do we need
Well,
to set up?
I think that I should be right side, like by that staircase. I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree. Yep, I agree. Right here. I'll answer for myself. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go here. What is up with this fucking? Yeah. So I'm gonna go here. Bobby's not here to answer, but let's give an answer for Bobby. Where does Bobby need us to stay?
You can go contest the nipple on the middle.
Right here.
You could be on top too.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. He can be here or here. Right. Well, why? Okay. Now to answer the question from last map, why do we want him here next to Rana?
Because he won't be
No.
able to do shit in meanwhile.
Yeah, we don't want him here, right? We don't. This is terrible, right? We want someone to contest point and force him off, right? So I think he can be here on high ground right here. So yeah, I'll just put him in the middle there. Where does our Mercy and Echo want to be?
Probably in the air top left contesting the aggro.
Laying nipple or no?
I think these three can play nipple together. Right? I think these
Nice.
three can
What a
play.
bizarre way to say that.
What?
No, there's nothing wrong at all.
I
Please
don't think
continue.
there's anything wrong either. Okay.
Not
What
at
about
all.
our Tracer? Where does our Tracer want to be?
Probably playing
Under
around
the
the
high
house.
ground.
Hmm?
Under the high ground.
Under the high ground? You think they should be under? So let's say it's
Yeah, I should be close by. Just go. So like I have like trail back I can play with. I can go and contest the high ground as soon as I
You got
can. I
that
can
mega.
contest the point.
Okay, I don't mind it. I don't think that's wrong. This can't be an answer. I think anywhere along this
Yeah.
side here is okay. Right.
It
Because
was
the
the
biggest.
other option.
So the other option was kind of like where I'm at, kind of contesting these angles, kind of being.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
no, that's what I wanted to say. This was the other option I had.
Yeah. So like again, it doesn't matter. It's fine. You just have to be careful to get poked out, right? We don't want you to have to recall because like they're shooting you from up here, or they have an angle to shoot you and all that stuff. We don't want that necessarily. It's not wrong. Just be careful. We don't want you to be forced out too prematurely. So I would just say, because right now we're not trying to look to try to force any engages or fights on this high ground. We're not going to win it. We'll see it in the VOD review or the VOD. I try to come around, jump, and try to push them off. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's so damn hard to do, and I couldn't even do it because I couldn't get a grapple to this corner here, and I just ended up just slamming here. And really, the only value that we're gonna get from that is just these two putting stickies and damaging it. Well, maybe like we don't want Diva flying in on this. This is terrible. But she'll just probably do some poke damage and missiles, so we're really not getting any value by doing that. You see what I mean?
Just before we go any further, I really believe we should fight for the aggro at the start of the map, because like the Diana in this position currently has no sideline for a nade, and like when we have a nada, we really need to be playing off anti-nades.
Right.
And
no, you're 100%
where
right.
Diana is as like very limited sightlines, and you won't be able to land nades. It's gonna be straight in the defense matrix, monkey shield or whatever.
Yeah.
So like
The
I feel like
argument.
I just feel like if we go straight for the aggro at the start of the game, maybe Ari, you just stay hidden for like a few seconds, just so that enemy team find a target, go on a target first, then you show up, throw a nade in their back because they're too focused on someone else. I cannot draw, but like, yeah, I can draw, but I would go bottom left, either near the mini or the pathway a bit on the right. Just go yeah, a bit on the right. Yeah, close by. Not on the high ground, but like on bottom when we go for the contest. Yeah.
So, what you're saying isn't necessarily wrong. I like it, but the reason why we can't do it is because we don't have the speed, right? So they're gonna get high ground no matter what.
TP is not fast enough.
That's
We could
true.
TP,
They're gonna beat us there.
But the thing is we don't need to do that. We can simply just play safe and just force them off of it. They get no value by staying up here if we just stay away from them. They get 0 value. They just sit here. The reason why a lot of teams play for this is because it's really just to prevent the other team from using it. So let's say we obviously probably want our Echo to play up here, or if we had instead of a Tracer a Soldier, we want these 3 to obviously play up here, right? So it's basically just to prevent any of that situation to play up here. That's why a lot of teams try to play this high ground. But with this map, with this thing in the middle, we don't have to play for it, and it's not we don't need to desperately play for it, because we can just play over here, play safe, and force them to drop, and try to obviously she's gonna not play with the team, but get these 6 to drop and try to rotate into our Ana. They have to eventually do that, right? Because we're contesting point and we're getting it. Okay, sure. Let's say they're back over here and they just contest high ground or the low ground with the D.Va here. Okay, whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter, right? We can just poke out, probably not ball. We don't want them to just drop on top of us. But Echo, D.Va can start poking, Tracer can start poking a little bit. But this is okay. We don't need to go for a full engage. We need to pull back and wait for them to engage onto us, right? So they look for an engage, and then we concave back onto them like this, right? And then guess what? We have a free nade on 6 of them, or 5 of them right here, right? You see what I mean? We're forcing them to play into us. We don't need to play into them.
Yeah, I see.
We just gotta wait. You just have to wait and force them off. Does anyone have questions or concerns or?
I mean, I think I get it. The main crux is poke them to waste as much resources, and then try to get them off and split them. Still, it's the same concept, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're
Same
gonna-
concept as from Basan, right? So it's prevention, right? So who do we think we need to be trying to force, or at least to poke out majority of the time?
I'm sorry. I actually need a second. I have a work call coming in real quick. It'll
Okay.
just be 2 minutes.
I'll just ask everyone else. Who do you think we should be looking to shoot and poke down first before they engage?
Oh, Moira?
No,
Monkey mainly.
Monkey, right? Especially the biggest thing is we want Monkey to get rid. We want to get rid of Monkey's armor, because Monkey without his armor is pretty much useless as fuck. He's gonna get blown up immediately. But the problem is, right? So typically with this, right, we wouldn't obviously have these 3. We would have the Zen, this, and then our Sombra. Do we not have a Sombra? So that's why we really miss out on a lot of damage coming from this orb. So we really have to be careful, but the concept still applies, right? We still have a lot of mobility, and we're forcing them off high ground to play into us, and then we just engage or concave into them from a lot of different angles. You see that? Probably over there. It's just we're missing a lot of damage, and that may be a difference, but I probably know it's going to be a difference, but it's the best we got right now, so we have to be careful. So just know that we are missing out on a lot of damage, and it's a Yikers, but we make do with what we got. All right, any questions? And again, right. So let's say I go in, right? I slam. Me and Tracer are trying to go after the Moira, and get her out to fade out. I mean, if she fades in, okay, whatever. I mean, we will still go in, right? She'll still take a lot of damage and nade and all that stuff. But the goal is to get her to fade out. Tracer and me split focus, and we follow up like this still.
I'm assuming this also works with pretty much anyone who retreats, like Reaper, wraithing back,
Right. Yeah. Even though
or D.Va boosting back.
I wouldn't necessarily go after the diva because again, this comp is meant to burst down a squishy target, right? So going after the
Right.
tanks like that and you're like full out engage is probably a little troll unless like let's say for some Jesus of a reason, let's say we're like set up like this. We're over here, Tracer's over here, and all that stuff. Let's say for fucking geez, like whatever reason he jumps over here by himself. You know?
Yeah.
Well, then it's like okay, well this guy's a fucking idiot. Just go after this monkey.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I
go.
mean? Then it's
We
just-
we scream monkey, 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 monkey. And then
Yeah,
we kill
exactly.
it.
Then just kill it like he's feeding, right? And then like they're gonna like, oh shit, you idiot, and then they're gonna waste cooldowns trying to catch up, and then now they're just easy pickings. We concave onto them and they die. Right?
Bird.
But a lot of it is the poking phase. We have to poke them out, poke the monkey out as much as we can, force them to use resources they don't want to use before a fight, like premature jump or bubble, or even like better is obviously trying to get rid of his armor. So any questions so far?
I'm good so far, personally.
What about anyone else? Answer the question.
Anyone not get anything?
I mean, I'm asking the question.
I,
Is it yes
I
or no
think I
question?
got it.
Okay, well then say it. I want to know. Okay, so now we're gonna go into this. We're gonna see us not do that, and hopefully you can see where we might go wrong, or if we go right. So far, you see, it's already happening, right? They're gonna contest high ground. We don't need to take it, and I'm stupid in thinking that I have to. So I'm kind of get around here and try to force them off, and then we're gonna slam here and try to go in. We don't need to do this, right? We can have Diva up here. We have our Echo here, and then, I mean, Bumper is, I don't know, over here for some reason. I mean, he needs to be over here. Okay, so obviously based off of that, our positioning is a little whack, but you know, Larry, at least you're doing something right, and Bobby's
Playing
doing
nipple.
something right, and yeah,
If there's one thing I know how to do in life,
yeah, nice, good job. Everyone else position-wise is okay. And another thing I want to mention with Ari's positioning, why is Ari's positioning really good here? If we were to obviously being in correct positioning like this, right? Why is this good?
'Cause they can't get to me. Like if
What
I was the
else?
main, they'd be able to like just jump down and get to me.
What else?
They can't see me.
What else?
I don't know.
You can heal in all directions. You still have LOS of everyone on your team.
omnidirectional heal.
You see what I mean?
You have LOS of herb.
You have LOS of everybody. So that's
Yep.
the position we want. So let's see what happens. So yeah, but we can see Bumper not really doing much. Sorry, not sorry, but that's just the truth. Okay, well at least he's over here now. This is okay. If he wants to play on this side, I would be on this side. But again, I try to be cheeky and try to push them off. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I was waiting for.
Did I need to do
for
it?
Indeed.
Do I need to do it? No. Like I mentioned, we don't need to do it. We can just wait for them or the point to unlock, and they're forced off. But let's see what happens. I slam them, whatever. We get some poke damage. Okay, not bad, right? We're not fully engaged, and then they engage onto us. Now let's see what happens. We're hacked here. Okay, well, let's see. Let's just play this out. So who's our target focus? So I can't go in because I don't have cooldowns because I wasted it on it. But so far, yeah, this might be a little difficult to kill, right? So like this is probably the primary target for a lot of people. At least for me, I can't even go in yet because I don't have anything. But I probably don't need to use grapple to get in. But yeah, you can see that me using cooldowns on the top there and not being able to rotate in, that we're not really allowed to get a good slam. But we do eventually force out the Moira, but it's too late. And that's really where we have to synergize a lot more, or a lot better, because of the fact that we don't have a Zen Brig to sustain as long as they can. Right, we have
Right.
an Ana, and that's the biggest issue for this comp that we're gonna probably run into with running it to Talon dive.
It seems like because we're not running like
Can you
what
rewind
that
the slide?
means.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
You can go, Larry. I'll do my point after.
No, I'm just gonna make an observation. Like it seems because of what you just said, like no breaks dead means less. Like they die. Like Ari dies quicker,
Mhm.
means that we're more like we really have to save the cooldowns for this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like we're
Right.
really punished for that.
Okay. If you go back even further, before about when the Winston go in. Okay. So here's the thing here. Whenever Diva's gonna get hacked,
Mhm.
like our plan, Diva need to be in a spot where she can easily cut line of sight for obvious reasons. So if she get hacked, there's no problem, no issue in that. But we need to burst down. Like when you can play out. Like when the Winston dive in, we need to burst down that bubble as soon as it popped, just so Ari can land her nade.
Mhm.
Because this Talon get absolutely fucked by nades. So if we can just burst down the
Mhm.
bubble with Larry, the tracer, like even the ball, like just shoot from afar, even if you don't have
Yeah.
a cooldown. If you just break it down real fast, Ari can short nade.
Mhm.
Ari or W here is like, yes, you want to save Bobby here, I feel like, but like you need to put yourself in a space where you won't be the next target, especially if they
Right.
so
Exactly.
close to you. So
Exactly.
like here, you might just want to leave Bobby to die
Exactly.
until the bubble is popped,
Mhm.
and that can be a call out for us because like that's a cooldown that is down. Unless D-Bus or Defense Matrix, Ari, you just pop out of nowhere to a nade, and we can win the fight now, even if we're down Bobby, because with the anti-nade, this can die
Mhm.
real
Right.
quick.
So like, look at this. Like, so this is what Ezekiel's saying, and exactly what should happen. Right. So what happens is Bobby gets hacked, and they get on top of him. That's actually really good for us. Right. The fact that they're spending their time to use all those resources on Bobby instead of our Ana, that is a win for us. The only problem is he gets scared and he's like, oh shit, I need to be saved. No, he doesn't need to be saved. You're in fact, we want you to be the scapegoat instead of our Ana. Right. This is the best situation that we can have. So you just need to stay. Or he's gonna watch this later. You need to stay in the open, right? So what happens here, and obviously, all right, you need to like back up. You need to be up here, right? Because now
For once, Ari's not the sacrifice.
well, that's
It's
why.
Bobby.
So you see what I mean? So the fact, the reason she doesn't become the sacrifice first is because we have her set up so far away where these like Talon can't really get onto her, right? Without us being able to, like actually interfere with it eventually, right? They're gonna have to
Our
walk all the way into her over here to get to her, and meanwhile, we should be able to try to slam, and me and Tracer can try to force out the Moira, etc. Right? That's what we want, and that's what we get. Right? She's too close right now, but if she was over here and out of LOS, and Bobby stays here, okay, we still are going to be able to do what we need to do. I'm going to be able to slam. Bobby's going to come in here. Bumpy's coming here. We try to if they here. Let me play this out a little bit. Right, right here. So if Bobby stayed here, Ari would have stayed here. I mean, if I had cooldowns, we would be able to slam here. You can throw nade from here, and then they're stuck in here, right? But instead, what happens is Bobby starts moving towards her Ana, and now puts our Ana in danger. And even worse, it drags their core or their whole team into a position where now they get out of LOS of us and our angles, and basically, essentially, they don't take as much damage, and they're able to heal up completely and just fuck us the rest up. You see what happens here? So now they're just gonna chase those two because, well, they chase you literally. Bobby killed Arana, and now we're forced to play in a very tight corner in which Talon beats our comp at, right? But instead, if they died on point, Bobby started just dying on point, we would have the angles that we need to at least kill them and keep providing the pressure. But now we lost it.
If you wanted to be saved, Bobby here, you could also went inside the building in the middle. to just break line of sight with the rest of the team that was taking the wrong route on the side. Like, you might have been able to split their focus.
So the reason I don't want him going in here is because I can't get a slam in there, right? We want the slam to be out in the front, and so we can continue with the multiple angles. So staying here is probably just your best bet. Yeah, like you can go like in between here and in between here, but that's not all. I mean, I can't get in the slam, and then it just becomes awkward, and then they still get more healing in here than if they were outside. So I prefer him just still be in the open space and just die in the open space and knowing that he's going to die. So that's probably the best situation, but it doesn't happen. But that was a great point, and I wanted to bring that up, so that's good. Will you eventually just die? So just die. Okay. So now it comes to the fact: how do we re-engage, right? So that's the question. Well, how do we get back to the positions that we want? Well, they go back to the high ground. Hey, that's good. That's good for us. We can just rotate back over here. I shouldn't be over here. I'm an idiot. I don't need to be over there. But if they're going to give that space to us for free and able to walk around, that's fine. Obviously, I go in prematurely here. We don't have a lot of angles, if not any. We just are flying straight at them. This is not going to go well, but let's see what happens. I slam, nothing happens. No value. Now I'm wasted cooldown. And now we're grouped up, and this is extremely bad. Ari gets caught out, and we're just all grouped up. Providing zero pressure on their backline. So, yeah, we're probably just going to lose this immediately. So that's, again, us just wasting cooldowns, especially me wasting cooldowns and not waiting for their engage or even trying to prevent their engage. We just literally press W into our deaths. Okay, bumper, if you can get out, that's fine. Curious to see how we recontest this. But how do we recontest? Well, Ari needs to stay out of LOS as much as she can, right? We do not want her to be like, oh, like, hello, guys, like, I'm here. Like, no. Even out here, we don't want you to be seen. Yeah, so, like, taking this route through here, trying to not be seen as much as you can is definitely the way to go. What else? Well, we have ults. Let's see what we can use for ults. And obviously, with the Zen Mercy or Zen Brig, we could always engage with a trans or a rally, but we have none of those, so we're definitely using a lot of offensive ults to try to recontest space. So it might be a little harder without that. So let's see what angles we take. I mean, the fact that they're just waiting for us to like spawn in. But yeah, again, like we don't need to be taking the fight to them, right? This is just bad from us, and me, especially me. Now what is our target focus? Larry dupes Echo. No, Larry dupes this. Was this a misclick?
I'm guessing.
Larry, did you misclick onto Lucio?
Might have been a panic.
Sorry, I'm muted. Yes, I did. I was trying to do Winston.
Okay. Unlucky. So why Winston though? I'm curious. Why Winston?
Actually, I was a misclick. I don't remember. Like right now, I would dupe Winston, but I don't remember at the time if I was thinking the same thing. I don't remember exactly what I was trying to do, but it ended up being accidentally a Lucio.
Okay, so I'll then back to the original question. Why are you duping Winston though? Just curious what your thought process is there.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
Like,
now
why,
that I
like,
reanalyze it.
Why wouldn't we want to like?
I would do
bomb,
Diva. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Or even like
Diva can...
Reaper, right? Reaper or Diva. I mean, either
yeah.
was fine, but probably Diva, right? Because if we do Reaper, I mean, they have a chance. They have a Diva, they can eat it, right? So.
Yeah, actually, Reaper seems one of the best.
Well, I just explained why Reaper is not one of the best. Because if we do Reaper, they have a Diva to just eat all the damage.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from that, isn't it really good? Like if I just kind of...
if we get Diva out of her mech, but the best dupe is her, right? Because you can just go after their monkey, right? Huge.
True.
You get bomb and just throw it up, and hopefully you can get more. And no one can block it besides Monkey Bubble or Fade. And hopefully by the time that happens, they would have used those abilities already, and then they're not safe. So it's probably
It could
most
get
likely
hacked
Diva.
with the dupe though. Wouldn't
It
that make me a
could,
bit?
it could, but you can get hacked out of any dupe, right? So it's best that you try to at least go
guess
for
so.
something like a Diva. I don't know. Because out of hack, you may be able to just spam Q and get your bomb off.
I think I build beat though.
That's good.
I
Too
don't
late to
know. I
save
think I
Harry.
did. Sorry.
Too late to save Harry, but
But yeah, I mean, you can see like our positioning is really just whack. We're really not even going after targets. We're just kind of like, I mean, I guess go after the Winston.
you're allowed to leave your echo if he dupes a Lucio,
Yeah,
Cooper.
yeah.
Feel free to
Yeah.
do so.
I'm trying to damage boost him so he can build beat as fast as possible.
It did work actually. I think we did beat that, right?
Yeah, you did.
So eventually just kind of regroup and just start killing shit. Oh,
Unfortunate.
Helden sterben nicht.
do we even recontest this?
Well, you're sick, so I hope so.
Oh, we're able to really come back at this. Okay, I guess we're just looking for target calls. Okay, we force out Sombra. Larry's doing some damage. We single out Diva. Okay, nice. Now
Kind
let's
of
set
just
up.
push them back.
So now it's really about setup here, and where we want to engage. Now that we have the high ground advantage, great, good job, guys. Take the high ground where you can. This is wonderful. This is okay. Okay, I don't think Tracer needs to be up here with them. I really don't think so.
Yeah, if Tracer's on the
maybe
other
down
angle,
here.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
like
sick.
taking this angle, and we take these angles, and maybe just try to look for an engage here, or when they come out of here. This is probably our kill boxes here. So a lot of the times, if we're like running Brawl or Talon or anything like that, essentially if their spawn's over here and they're trying to walk in right here, they only have really two ways to come in. So we would like spawn hold these areas, because it's very oppressive, right? We don't really need to let them walk in. We're essentially Brawl and Talon and Brawl, and then we just do a lot of poke damage if we can. Obviously with Talon you really can't do that. You don't have a lot of poke damage, but yeah, I mean, falling back like this up to here, you don't need to, right? Because we don't have anyone that can really utilize it. Besides, oh, we can like use the high ground to like find and engage, but we can do that by just sitting and holding these chokes, right? Because you're gonna
Wait, so you're
engage
saying
chokes
that
anyway.
high ground's bad here, like for everybody, or
For Talon and Brawl, high ground over here is bad. At least when we kill them all and they are coming out from spawn. Especially if we
for
have no one
Talon-
to utilize it, right? So for Brawl, we would run what, fucking Kree and May. May's useless with this wall up here, and Kree's damage sightlines, especially if they come this way, useless. And then it allows them to just take this angle and just play down here. Like we do nothing up here. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
I mean this instant though. Isn't this instant good?
No.
Like
It's
Ari and
good for
Bobby's-
us. Yeah, it's just like for our comp, it's
Oh,
good.
okay.
It's our comp
Right,
is
right, right.
good, right? We can have people up here because we have people to utilize it, right?
Gotcha.
But I'm saying for Brawl, if we're like them, like if they're running Talon or if we're running Brawl, it's bad to like regroup onto the high ground here, right? Because we would want to play at the choke points, right, and not let them in. You see what I mean? But with our comp here, we can use high ground because we have Ari to be able to throw a nade here in this position. Oh my god, what happened? Throw a nade here, to throw a nade here, and we can take a lot of angles here and have our kill boxes in this area. Right? We don't want to play at the choke because we can't play here. We don't have a lot of angles, especially for Ana, right? Our Ana would have to play like inside, and we don't want that. See what I mean? So it's okay for us to play back here, but I'm just saying for other comps it wouldn't be. And obviously we don't want to be grouped up necessarily like this. I could be over here, but I don't know. Maybe Echo can probably even get high ground, play these high grounds over here, not necessarily inside here. But
Yep.
yeah, so Tracer can be here. I can be over here playing this side. You can be up here, and then everyone else up here. And then look for these kill boxes here. So that's probably the best positioning when we at least kill them all and then hit the respawn. So I go in prematurely, but I just was trying to get some poke damage. But again, I wasted cooldown, right? And imagine if, I was just waiting, they come out here, and I come in, roll from here, or if I was on this side, I roll from here, take a slam, we throw in a nade, we get stickies from this way and here. Diva can probably come into here and help, right? Because she doesn't need to protect the Ana back here. Yeah, I mean, this is our kill box right here. But I waste a lot of fucking bullshit.
But isn't Diva, like, based on what you said about Busan, isn't Diva also out of position here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
no, you're absolutely right.
I
But
think
I'm-
it's a good starting position.
It's a good starting
when you
position,
don't
yes.
know where the enemy team is going, go. Because if the enemy team
Right.
want to go on the high ground,
Excuse
it's
me.
your best position because you won't have to spend your boosters. But as soon as they saw the enemy team commit more towards like Grezin and Yulari, like Bobby should have rotated or like
Right.
moved.
Right.
Exactly. Like I said,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
it's a good starting position, but yeah, with the Busan example, yeah, this would be a pat position. But we don't know where they're gonna go. They can come this way, then this becomes okay, right? They're just closer to her. But if they come this way, yeah, ultimately, yeah, it's a bad position, but it's okay because we're going to try to get the engage right here, right before they can engage into our Ana. But at least it looks like we try to, but it just doesn't go well. Look, I don't think it should. Or does it?
I
Okay,
threw
this is
Nano that
winnable.
quickly.
This is winnable. Yeah, so alright, like here, like try to like play a little farther back, right? We don't want you to be like diveable. So be careful with that. Play a little further back. Okay.
Good job staying on. Are you? Is Ari still on the high ground?
Yeah, she's
She's under?
oh she's under.
Okay.
Oh,
Good job.
okay. Well, that's not good. But
Wait, did I end up falling there or
yeah,
did I
Yeah.
just get off?
Yeah, I don't know if you dropped down or you fell down, but the diva was on your ass. I think you fell down.
let's see. Okay, you get pushed up by Diva, but yeah, that's not really your fault.
You were so close to demaking the diva. It's unfortunate.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Winston.
So we do Winston. Yeah, like again, we really don't want to try to force fights over here, right? We want to try to force them into this area, which is looks like we're doing, but we don't want to push them too far out. So like keeping them here for us, we can stay in LOS and then obviously nades. But yeah, already like be careful with that. Right, you never know when they're just gonna start pouncing on you and kill you like that. So you have to be careful to not get too comfortable. Alright, this is key against that. But okay, let's see what our recontest is. We really
Cooper
have
1v6 easy.
for sure.
Yeah, easy
And
peasy.
it's overtime. Okay.
Sheesh.
I mean, I'm sure you guys seen the mistakes we made, and that's all that matters. So now let's go to. What the fuck was that? Okay. Let's go over here. Unfortunately, they don't run Talon on this. They're assholes. Absolute jackasses. They don't run Talon, but a lot of teams don't run what they run. They usually run Brawl or Talon, so same concepts are going to apply here. Obviously, we're probably not going to try to be able to get to high ground first, so we had to come up with ways to try to, well, apply it, what we learned. So let's see here. Where do we want, let's say they're going Talon, where do we want our team to be?
Do I play from main?
Where in main?
Like Right, not like on the staircase there, but like there. No.
Here?
No, like yeah, like kind of there.
Mhm.
Maybe a little forward.
Well,
I'm
why
thinking
would
I
you
play
play?
that.
Why would you play here?
So I can see point.
What else?
I'm also like not super close to them.
Is that a question or an answer?
No, like I'm not super close to like the enemy team. I'm pretty far away. As far away with seeing.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Right. We want to keep distance. Right. We want them to be like, oh yeah, hi, 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 and bait them off. Right. So yeah. Okay. Good. Um. Now with these 5, right? Where do we want these 5, right? Remember, we want those angles, so we're able to concave into them if they do eventually end up getting one of these 2. But let's start with Diva. Where do we want our Diva to be set up?
I mean, I don't really know because I would say relative to where everyone else is, but I don't know where everyone else is.
Like maybe on the stairs there, main.
Okay. Why?
So she's like in the way in front of
Yeah,
me. But
not
like
not super
she could have
far, but still in line of sight.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Now, what about everyone else? So
Good
let's say,
bait.
obviously this is gonna be off start. Let's say, so obviously this is where these 2 ending position want to be when they get to the point. But let's say let's okay. Well, let's start. Let's put these 2 somewhere first before we talk
I was
about
gonna
ball
say,
and tracer.
me and Cooper, should we not play window, like the little window in main? Yeah, like here,
Yeah, I would say that's fine.
and like play
Right?
around that whole pillar area
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I would say this is great. This is great poke.
That's my first instinct. They can't really do shit to us here
However,
except for
this
like
is
love.
okay. This is okay, right? We still have some angle here. We have this angle here. We have. Oh wait, look at this. We have this angle here. We have this angle here. It's okay. It's not a terrible option. How do I delete it? I don't know. I think this is the eraser. But another option that you have is that you 2 can play over here, right? And just
Yeah, that's true.
spamming from here, right?
Do you think we can even go like all the way around, or is that just too wide?
So I think that's too wide, and this is, and you'll see why in a second. So yeah, again, the best way to beat Talon is lots of angles, distance, and to be able to basically weed or like prevent Winston and provide a lot of spam damage as much as you can onto the Winston before he jumps in. And this is going to allow you to do that. It separates, I guess target focus, right? Because imagine if Winston sees you guys over here and they go after you, right? That's troll. You guys can just fly out, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to do that. So that wastes an
Monkey,
engage,
monkey,
and
monkey, monkey, monkey.
and we just collapse onto the monkey and so forth. So it's recognizing that. So let's say we're coming out of spawn with these 2. Where do we want these 2 to set up? So it's a little different, right?
In
It's not like the nipple where like we can just all stay on this side and wait, right? Because points
my
here.
instinct tells me Tracer going into like the hookah rooms or whatever,
Okay.
and then she can get ready to engage. Sorry, I just slammed my
Probably
knee.
in the enemy hookah. Just by my general rotation is to go through Mega and just scout where the team's going. So I generally end up in their hookah.
Yeah, and then can't ball just kind of go like other hookah or main?
It's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
So
a bit
these
bad
are-
for Ball, I feel like, because Ball needs to, like, if you want to engage on the enemy team, he has a lot of travel to do.
Right,
Because he
and
can't go straight.
so this is our spawn. Closest is here. So remember, Ball and Tracer should probably want to play together coming off spawn, right? And yeah, traveling like this takes way too long, right? Way too long. So what's the best option? What's another
I mean, we
lane?
don't have to travel together, we just need to engage at the same time.
True,
That is true.
right?
That's what I was thinking too.
But in this case, I feel like we could, and here is why. The reason
So
why
you would
we
go
need to
bottom then?
yeah, we travel under. So like we go under here, like not like this is not under. Let me see if I can. Layer 1, layer 2, layer Ooh, layer 2. What is layer 2? I can't even tell. Okay, well, I guess I can't get under. But yeah, these guys go under, right? And what we can do here is leave Tracer onto the point here, force point, and have ball rotate under here. And if you want to, just push them all off. Right? This is in a case where we can have a possibility to push them off and slam, and then like close in like this and throw a nade. You see that? We have a concave going in from a lot of different angles. We have Tracer under, and we can slam and throw in our kill box right here. So it's a possibility, right? But let's say we don't want to do that and we just want to play slow. Well, same thing. Ball can just chill over here, just wait, and we can have Tracer just play under and force point. Right? You see that?
Yeah, I guess we just wait.
We have to wait, right? They have to drop, right? What are they gonna do? Stay up there the whole game? Then no one's gonna get a point. Guess what? We can just bounce Diva back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because she's gonna get heal all day, right? We can just play mind games with them all day long. But that's probably the initial setup and probably what we want. Now, that's against Talon and Brawl, because Brawl and Talon obviously play the same. They're just gonna try to get high ground and try to take it away
Brawl
from
is
us.
a bit of poke though.
Brawl does have better poke, right? But that again, we don't have to force anything. We do not have we don't have to do really anything. We just try to poke to see if we can waste any of theirs. That's all we can do because we can't go and try to go all full out onto a full engage on top of them. They're gonna win that, especially if we don't poke them down because they're gonna out sustain. We don't have enough damage. We don't have a Zen. And so if maybe Ari gets up there, maybe, or like maybe a nade up there and gets like 5 or 6 of them, but again they have a BAP and they can just lamp, so it's very dangerous. We have to have the poke phase. There's no option. But unluckily we don't run this. They don't run this. They run this comp. And then obviously we didn't have a tracer and we had double flyers and this comp. I don't want to think about it too much. Obviously we're gonna have these two together. They want this up here with this, and then ball and tracer on different angles. But yeah, so with this comp that we have now, what changes?
When you say now, are you referring to the match, like the game we had, or
Yeah. So okay. So in this match, so in the game that we had, so I was talking about if a team were to come out with Talon or Brawl, right? To kind of show you what we would want to play like. But obviously in the scrim, that's not what they came out with. They came out with whatever the red team is, right? So how does our positioning and play change, or does it change?
I mean, now we can look for engages with our ball.
Right? Can we get a little more aggressive?
Not as dangerous. Yeah, we can get a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
We can go for engages and follow up. In fact, shouldn't we be the aggressors
Yeah.
if it's like a mirror match?
Oh yeah. Well, it's not necessarily a mirror match per se,
Right.
but yeah,
True.
we definitely want to be more aggressive. Why?
Why? Because
Yeah.
they're not like 6-man. They're like the threat of them. Like if we get aggressive, they have not as many things to punish us.
Right? But what else?
Can you go back to the thing? I mean, they have Zen.
Mm-hmm. Without what?
Without a brig.
Uh-huh.
It's just Zen Mercy.
Right? And they have a lot of poke too. They have a lot of damage coming in. We don't have time to just be like, oh yeah, let's take some damage
That's true.
before we can win. Like we don't have
we
time
can't
for that shit.
really.
Absolutely
Right.
not.
We don't really win poke phase as much.
Right.
They have a Zen.
But the setup
Actually-
is still there, right? We want to get a lot of off angles, a lot of different angles. We have our Diva protecting our Ana if she really needs it, but we really need to be sending a lot to contesting the high ground and this point, right? we need to have a lot here to get them, and then because we can't really necessarily kill these two, and you'll see here in a second why. Here, I'll show you because you'll see what happens here. So obviously we know we have to be aggressive, right? We can't let them poke us, right? We still have enough poked as ourselves. But you see what happens and what I mean. So a lot of our attention is, getting distracted by the ball and the tracer. Okay, we kill. Actually, maybe it was a different fight. That's a really good pick. But yeah.
Liar diff.
True. And obviously, I don't like doing this because obviously I would much rather have a tracer. And so it'd be a lot better, right? Because we would have obviously the tracer probably coming in from some angle, whether it's here or here, helping me out in the backline, and not this here. And you would obviously have the pocket. But let's say we had the tracer here instead of the Pharah. What is our, like, whose job is to, obviously we're going to probably try to split focus, of course. So who's going to be focusing on who? So that's the question. So Larry, let's start with you and Cooper. If we were obviously running the tracer here, because that's what we should be running. Who's your focus?
I mean, in this particular thing,
yeah.
the first thing is Farah.
Exactly. Right. You are going after these two. 100%.
Yeah, and then Mercy, then Zen, then Sigma, then Bald, and Tracer.
Yeah. So yeah, these two are pretty much last for you.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me and Tracer, right, our focus is probably these two, mostly the Zen, right? So we're splitting those focus. Bobby and Ari are probably going to be contested with a ball and a tracer. So those two are split focus on that. So it's okay to split focus, right? As long as you're creating what at the same time?
Chaos?
Chaos, but what's a better word for chaos?
Pressure.
Pressure! There you go. Right? If we're not
Like
creating
chaos,
pressure at the same time, let's say I go in prematurely here, what happens?
Then, like, it's a mistimed tempo engage. You're gonna get focused and die.
Right, exactly. Let's say, I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing is me going too early, or Tracer going in too early, or whatever. I mean, to be honest, Cooper, you, Larry, going after the Pharah, whatever, it's going to be a pretty much constant fight. But let's say you don't start fighting the Pharah, right? Let's say you don't even see her, and I go in too early, and she's just sitting right here and just flies into me and kills me. Right? I need to make sure that you are shooting and creating pressure onto that Pharah at the same time I go in on the Zen.
Right. Yeah. Timing the tempo.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's very important in ball comps.
Mm-hmm.
So hard. Much
It is
harder.
very hard. So, what the hell? Bumper gets freaking... So yeah, me and whatever. You two are going after these two. Perfect. Bobby's helping you. Perfect. I mean, you're the scapegoat. Not much you can do. But look at this. Look at this. Look how wonderful this looks. Creating pressure. You two are creating pressure. It looks like we should win this. Bumper gets kind of diffed. But I go in and follow up because I'm too good at game.
And I diff the
and you diff for But you see, pressure at the same time, we win game. Well done, guys. Good job. Well done. Well done. Now set up here. What's their setup going to look like? That's a good question. What does our setup want to look like?
Well, do we have time to get Anna on high ground here?
Let's get these motherfuckers. Okay, so do we want Ari and whatever to be up here?
Eventually,
I mean,
yes.
I think so.
I mean, obviously we full capped them here, right? Right. So they're all coming from spawn, right? Where do we want our backline and all that to be?
Yeah, I would set them up on high ground.
On high ground, right?
Yeah,
so obviously
Diva,
that's
Anna.
Right. But what becomes a problem if we set these guys up here? What is an issue that we come across if... So the answer is going to be based off of where our kill box is and where we want to engage, right? Because let's say we engage... Let's say we engage too late. Right? What happens then? Let's say, I'm over here, Tracer or E3 are just, in here for whatever reason. Let's say we just let far over here, and we let. Let's say it's the same over here because that's currently where I'm at, pretty much. Let's say I'm up here with this. You're probably here. Let's say here. What else did they have? They had an echo, right? Tracer. And let's say Tracer's coming at this. Let's say by some miracle, we let them be able to set up in this position on us. What becomes an issue?
Hana doesn't know where to run.
Yeah, right. We let them concave onto us, right? That word that we're gonna use now. They have a lot of angles. They're gonna concave, and they're gonna absolutely just annihilate our little holes, right? Because they have angles from here, they have angles from here, here, and here. Right? Very bad. Not good. So, how do we want to set up so that that doesn't happen? So obviously the end goal is having these two here. So where do we want to have? Where does everyone else want to set up?
Well, we have a Pharaoh here, so that's a bit weird. But as a tracer, I would contest the Yuka. You would have Larry and Mercy. You can play around where they are right now, just contesting main and scouting. And you should be somewhere. I guess I don't know exactly how I'll play, but you should be wherever you can to rotate to either hookah or main.
Right. So
You could play around Mega.
Okay, true. Where do we want to engage to kind of be at?
The stairs, 2 point main, point
Well,
main.
obviously, like we would want it here, right?
Yeah.
This is the ideal, but I don't think anyone's that stupid enough to just walk in like that.
Oh, you would be
You know what I
surprised.
mean? I know, I would be surprised, but if we see it, we should recognize it, right? Obviously. We should be like, okay, well, they're just stupid. They're walking in blindly, and they just come in as a team like this. I mean, for some fucking reason, I mean, Ball probably is going to go over here. Tracer might be like this, but yeah, like their 4 is probably going to walk in like this, sure. Then, obviously, our kill box is here and killing these 4, creating pressure. But yeah, let's say they don't do that. Let's say these 2 obviously are just going to fly up in main, and they come in through here. Where's our kill box?
You don't have kill bugs, so you need to rotate first.
Yeah, we have to start rotating probably, right? Right. I don't know if we want to give up this easily. I actually don't know what we should do. Because obviously
The issue here is like in this scenario, running the fair, so there's no scouting
right. So that's
done
why
on
this is
hookah.
I hate this. We should have a tracer, right? Because we don't have really any much pressure or too much really. Because obviously we would want. These
There's
two
also
fight
the
each
issue that the ball was left free in our hookah, but like technically, if we had proper scouting and we didn't let the enemy team go wherever they wanted, I would probably have Anna rotate in our hookah and try to set up a nade either on the Zen, who's going to be closer to stairs on their hookah, or as they're coming out on the high ground from stairs.
like that.
Yeah, and then you can either have your back that comes in through hookah, the enemy hookah, you get in their back line. You have Diva, who's main and just front facing. You have Larry, who's contesting the enemy pharmacy. And we should be able to win it here.
Yeah, I agree. Something like that. Yeah. Try to look for an early rotation off of high ground. Just I wouldn't say necessarily give it up completely, right? But like soft, like give it up. Like we're not like it's kind of like baiting, right? Like yeah, like go up there, right? It's yours, you know. Because we can obviously like if they do, and we let's say, oh my god, I'm echoing. Let's say they do happen just to walk up. Okay, whatever. We can try to get a boob. We can try to get a boob. I can try to get a boob. So it's in the worst. It's not really not that bad, right? Of a scenario. We can always just engage into here if we need to. But yeah, okay. Yeah, good job. I would say that's okay. So let's see what happens. Okay, so our setup here. Okay, Larry doing God's work, doing
Doesn't know.
something. Okay, and then we're set up here. Hey, look at that! Look at that! Created pressure. Larry, you're a genius. And now what? We need to go in onto a target. Okay, nothing you can do
Adaptive
there.
circuits engaged.
Helden
Happens.
sterben nicht.
My dupe got deleted immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
Damage boosted
So-
direct with Discord.
what's the issue with me though? You see what I'm doing?
Why
You're
are
not
you
on
playing
the-
Yeah,
back
why
there
am I
with
back
us?
here? Like, why am I not in here? You see, I shouldn't be back here with these two. I shouldn't be there. 4 of us should not be back here. Only 2, like Ari and Bobby, should be back here dealing with these 2. Everyone else needs to be pushing forward, especially after we kill the Pharaoh. We should be killing these 3 and then backing out and killing the rest of the 2. But yes, I'm trolling. Bumper is trolling as well.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Helden sterben nicht.
So if we lose this fight, it's on me and Bumper for sure.
Rip Cooper.
Yeah, Rip Cooper. He died in vain. My bad, bro.
R.I.P.
My bad, dude.
Cooper will never forgive you.
Hey,
That's
I
fine.
make up for it. I killed this enemy. Actually. Come on.
From above.
And then we die. Okay, well, now it's recontesting time. Woohoo. It's the worst thing to do in the game. But it's the same thing, right? What are we gonna do? Send maybe Tracer back here. I don't know. Maybe get around. Who fucking knows? They're probably gonna try to set up a high ground, but yeah, like get pressure from here, get through here. Ari can probably stay back here as far as she can to bait the ball and Tracer go this way. But then, yeah, our end goal is to try to get these 3, if not those 2 in the back. Please stop doing that. Okay. So I'm asking, we're ready. We're not. Okay. So yeah, these 2 can deal with this, okay? So hopefully, Larry, you don't look at them and we just go through here. Hopefully a lot of the attention is there. 4 or 5,
Wait, sorry,
6.
where's there? Where's this? Like on the back line or?
Yes, over here, right? We have a nano, we're going in. These 2 can deal with this back here to themselves, right? We want
Hopefully, but
everyone...
It doesn't look like I'm doing that.
we don't really have a choice, right? I mean, this is okay. I would say this is fine. I mean, they have to. We have to go back in the back line. At this point, we can't just backtrack.
Unstoppable.
Because I'm going in, I'm mining them, and I get their trans out. Right? I should probably back... Well, I'm trying to look for Mega, but I didn't find it. But the pressure was back there, and that's what matters. We should win this. Yeah, we had the pressure. Okay. That's a 1 fight. I think that looked okay. Did anyone else see anything? I think what I saw, or what I see next, is what I saw, and I become eerie about it. I think it's this. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, like, what's wrong with our positioning right now?
Why are we all far back?
Yeah, like, why are we all stacked, right? We have no, like, you're the only one that's doing God's work, right? Everyone's just grouped up like this. We have no scout besides you, and we have no angles. This is bad. I need to work on that. I should have been either, probably not in here, but, like, probably around here somewhere, scouting myself, looking for angles. Maybe even Tracer try over here looking for angles or something, or I don't know if you want to like rotate this way like this. It might be a little troll, so probably not, but maybe in here, I don't know. But yeah, like we shouldn't all be up there, and obviously we wouldn't have Bumper on Farah, but yeah. Because I have no engage onto their backline, this can become an issue. But we get a pick, so we should be going in. Right? We slam. I'm on the Diva with that. okay. I mean, we're creating pressure at the same time, so no one. I mean, I die probably, but so far so good. I mean, the only part was the positioning was bad, but we got picks. We went in on an opportunity that we saw. Again, our positioning is god awful here. So bad. It's actually cringe watching that. It's like literally, how cringe is this? Like, I'm mauling right now.
Let's see, on a level of 1 to 10 to cringe, I'd say cringe.
Yeah, I mean, it's past cringe at this point. It's deathly.
Overtime.
Like, I'm freaking slamming. I'm trying to slam a goddamn diva. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
I love the self-VOD reviews.
I mean, to be honest, like Bumper and Cooper could be pressuring these two. I could be pressuring this. I mean, again, right? So like you should be up there, and Tracer should be here doing Tracer things with this. You see what I mean? Like things that could be changed and should have been changed.
Oh wait, hold on. I should be up there with
So like
with No Mercy with an actually enemy team, or
so yeah. Look. So we should have a Tracer, right?
yeah.
So Bumper should be Tracer.
Oh, if we have
You should
yeah,
be
okay.
this,
I
right?
understand.
Like,
I understand. Yes.
if the positions were reversed, right, and we did like Freaky Friday shit,
Yeah.
like you should
Yeah,
be
it's
the one
fine.
with the pocket and all that stuff. But I saw an opportunity to go onto the Zen by myself, which is okay as long as what, like if you were up here with Bumper, if Bumper was even looking, okay, I think he's looking, great, so that's fine. And then you're creating pressure on the Tracer, not, and look at this, it's a 2v1 on the ball. This is okay. With how bad our positioning was, at least split target is great. Splitting the targets are great. I should have died. Maybe they just have more damage. I mean, they had more damage. I don't know much we can do, but let's see what happens here. Split targeting mode is okay. They probably get there faster. Okay, I mean, it happens. We probably just got diffed in our own roles, but more me than anything else. But our positioning was bad, but the target pressure was okay.
Area denied.
Okay, let's see what happens. So obviously I just have to go in. They're down one so far. Hopefully we just press the W key.
Systems at max.
Okay, I have to watch Bumper's POV here. He gets natted, what happens?
Current status. Securing objective.
I go in.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Systems at
How did he get nuked?
Can you go back a little bit, but take out the little timeline bar?
Yeah. I mean, first off, we're not getting a Mercy pocket, so that's an issue.
You're powered up.
We get the nano, we don't get a pocket. Yeah, without the pocket,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we don't have a
They
pocket.
should have been a pocket. And to be fair, though, we were kind of making Cooper's job hard because
He's flying.
specifically
Yeah, I
told
mean,
him-
first off, he's flying straight in the air, like, right?
yeah,
Bumper
yeah,
straight up flying. Cooper was probably gonna die with him, but yeah, I mean, it was
yeah.
a
'Cause
Hail
I was
Mary.
constantly, yeah.
Hail Mary, 99%
circuits
play. Like,
engaged. Diva.
I get angry over there. Look how angry I get. This is look what happens to me. Look how unfortunate. Look at my POV.
Proximity clear.
So I see the Zen by himself. I'm like, you know what? I think hello? Like, what? Stop it? Okay, I wanted my POV.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I see the Zen. I was like, yes, perfect. Not only is he 1 HP, and I get fucking body blocked by the freaking Ash coming out.
That's pretty ripped. But it was not just you. A lot of us C9 there.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had to go back, but I get body blocked. But okay, that's not the point. All right, does anyone have any questions? about
but I need to be
concaving
right back.
angles
I have to go to the washroom. BRB.
and stuff like that. Any questions at all?
Nope.